18 years ago, Joyce walked through our door and joined the 12 News team. Tomorrow, she'll sign off from the anchor desk. And Joyce, you have influenced so many of us over the years, including some journalists who left their own mark in Milwaukee television.
WISN 12 News at 10 with Kathy Michaelby, Joyce Garbaciak.
Before they teamed up on the anchor desk, Joyce Garbaciak and Kathy Michaelby were competitors.
Now we're part of an exciting show called Live at 5.
Kathy here, Joyce across town.
We actually had the chance to have lunch before she started working here and had such a fabulous time. I walked away from the experience going, wow, I really wished I'd worked with her.
That wish eventually came true. Kathy and Joyce, two respected journalists,
Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett announced today,
side by side at WISN 12.
She does her homework. She works hard and she makes it look easy.
What do you say to people who contend that your absence thus far is a sign that you're writing Wisconsin off?
That creates an atmosphere for important information getting out when it needs to be out there.
the District 7 police station was shut down.
I love the way she would keep notes.
I was taking notes as she was speaking.
I started keeping notes like Joyce, you know. It's like, oh, well, you know, I have a way of doing this, but I'm going to do it the Joyce way. You know, so I stole that from her a little bit. I did steal something else from her, too.
What's that?
When somebody does a good job, Joyce is one of the first to go out there and give them the high five. I would say somebody knocked something out of the park. She would say, you're a rock star. And I love when she says that. So I've stolen that, and I use that all the time now.
Mike Goucher joins us now.
Joyce is one of those people that when you worked across the street, you would see her and you would go, she's good. I'd like to work with her someday.
The opportunity came for veteran journalist Mike Goucher in 2008 when he joined the team 2 years after Joyce.
When she went to 12, to me, it was another reason to make working at this station very appealing, because you were going to be working alongside people of such quality. It was definitely part of the decision-making process for me. I think what Joyce brought to the newsroom was a really effective form of leadership. You saw Joyce have such composure, such calm, such poise. I mean, she was really a leader in every sense of the word. And I think that's how she'll be remembered within that newsroom.
So we're starting to see the map unfold tonight.
I think she'll be remembered as one of the best journalists to work in Milwaukee television. She's authentic, and she's a great storyteller.
You dated? I'm Joyce.
She's the kind of person you want telling the story of your city.
I'm in the newsroom now with our political reporter, Kent Wainscott.
Like Mike, Kent Wainscott also spent a lot of time with Joyce covering politics and elections.
The one thing I think about when I think about Joyce and our political coverage here at this station is how unflappable she was.
Republicans have won control of the U.S. House.
No matter what happened, anytime there was some major news that would come through, a big turn in an election, some new results that came in, Joyce was always the one who was able to not only convey and disseminate the information accurately, she was the one who kind of kept everything just flowing.
Kent Wainscott is live in Wauwatosa tonight.
As far as working alongside of Joyce, whether we were doing political coverage or big community events,
From Milwaukee's lakefront,
she was always the captain steering the ship, and we always felt like we were in good hands.
the stage is set outside Fiserv Forum.
The Bucks Parade, another huge event which is completely unscripted.
So this is a team that will contend.
Former sports director Dan Needles points to that coverage as one of the examples of Joyce's versatility.
If I would have been here for one of the national conventions and suddenly I was put out there to talk about that, absolutely no clue. But yet she went out there and flawlessly knew who all the players were.
Brooke Lopez, too, had his remarks for the crowd, thanking them.
Her ability to be knowledgeable about so many aspects of life that then flow into television that's one of the great things about her.
I'm Joyce Garbaciak.
When our viewers look back on Joyce's years on the air, they're going to think about somebody who they trusted, they relied on, that they came to know as a friend.
She's done an amazing job of serving the public during the course of her career at Channel 12.
She's a great friend, too. Sometimes you have colleagues and you get close, but Joyce is a person who has a giant heart.
It's a great photo.
Oh, I love that picture. I love hearing from all of them. Talk about rock stars right there. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to come to 12, to work with Kathy and Kent and Mike Anderson, God rest his soul. You know, it was just, what an environment. And you.
Yeah.
And
well,
you.
it has been an honor to stand here. And I have to be honest, Kathy isn't the only one who stole something from you.
Mm-hmm.
So on election night, you design a chart. It looks something like this. And basically what's on there, it just says the campaign, the location, which reporter is there, and photographer. It's a reference point. We keep it out here, right?
Absolutely.
So the first campaign I covered with you here on the desk, I saw that. And then every campaign after that, I've created my own little chart. So thank you.
I'm glad to leave that with you. And I can't thank you and my incredible former colleagues enough. That just lifted my heart so much.